Welcome home, baby.
Corn Warriors is presented by Pivot Bio.
We're in Cedarville, Ohio at the shop. Today is August 23rd, 2022. Got with me from Gustin Seed Services, Doug Coe. We're getting ready to walk a bunch of fields here. We're going to take a look at some corn, some soybeans, and we're less than a month away from harvest, so I think we're going to get a good idea of everything that we have. And plan on stopping here and looking at some Pivot Bio trials. We've got a lot of different proven 40 trials out, along with some seed treatment trials out. So we're going to take a look at everything here today.
Let's go that one.
So just walking, you've seen a lot of black. So a lot of the big trigger word is tar spot right now. Huge problem is tar spot. So as I'm walking through here, if you're scouting your fields, see how this is black? The easiest way to tell if this is tar spot or not, take your finger, if it smudges off, see how it's wiping off? It's not tar spot. Tar spot will not wipe off on your hands. So that's the easiest way to tell whether it's just smut growing or is it actual tar spot coming. It's the easiest way to tell. Now, if it was tar spot coming, absolutely we'd be coming in immediately with Ryan Fisher and Veltima. You know, this corn's about done. It's a 109-day corn, but the reason why is that extra test weight. We can stand to lose another 30 to 40 bushel right now if this corn would die prematurely. So it's probably going to be harvested within a month anyways. That goes to show in 30 days we can lose up to 30 bushels with the disease coming in. So absolutely. So yeah, the corn's late. Does it pay to spray? You can answer your own question that way. I don't care what you're paying for, the product you're going to pay for, the application, whatever. 30 bushels at 30 bushels.
And the window is so small, you know, when it comes to a disease like tar spot, you know, that's where being in the field, walking your fields, knowing what's going on, or having that trusted, you know, advisor at your table, you know, to be in your field for you. You know, a 5-day, a week period can make a lot of difference when it comes to tar spot, and it's something that we haven't had to deal with in our area, you know.
Not this far south.
Not this far south yet, and you know, it's a matter of time, you know, where it's getting closer and closer to us, and you know, we just got to be ready to you know, put a plan in place and go for it. And you know, the big question that I got asked a lot was, you know, well, if I've already got my fungicide on, I'm safe, and you know, that the answer is no. No, you know, tar spot can come in, you know, after the fact, you know, after our especially on that early application, you know, and you know, you look at the data behind it, and it's definitely warranted to come back in if you find tar spot with another application.
Okay, so you want to see something here? Well, this row right here is a malfunction planter. We had one of the wirings hooked up between the brush meter and the row meter. So this row was pumping out 100,000 corn.
I'd say that this particular hybrid gave all it could give at 100,000 population. And
this is pretty typical ear size and tip back though for Chad. So at 30,000. Doing a corn deal out in the middle of a cornfield.
yeah, what's going on?
Thank you, bro. All right.
Is that why the planes are flying?
3 more from either this row or that row. Down there. So what we're doing here, I've got it pulled up on my phone. So we have the Pivot Bio seed treatment. We have nothing, no treatment, just standard corn. And then we have the Pivot Bio Proven 40 in furrow. So we're stopping, we're picking 3 random ears of each one. While we're walking, we're checking to see if there's any difference in plant health or anything like that, ear placement. So far what we've been seeing between the seed treatments, it's looking about the same. So now we're getting ready to head west here, and now we're going to get into the full-fledged program with the Pivot Bio Proven 40 in furrow.
And your standard nitrogen process, or is there a reduction?
There's a reduction in all of this. Anywhere you want in front of you, Doug. Let's see here, hang on, I can. So normally, when I'm always pulling, I try not to look at the ears. What I want to look for is the spacing between the plants. I don't want to grab one with a gap or one right on top of each other. And you just yank and pull. Yank and pull. All right, we're gonna head it back out to the truck to view all this, okay? Just count to 72 and you guys will be out. You know how many wedding rings I've lost in here? On wet mornings? Wardrobe. Here at Advanced Yield, we're not only just a consulting company, but starting in 2021, we are now offering a full lineup of select crop inputs. A lot of good foliar feeding options with a bunch of stress relievers. Anything that has been tested and proven on our farm is now offered to you at a great low price. No middleman, it's just a simple call and ship directly to you. For the farmer, by a farmer. Unleash your crop's potential. Visit online or give me a call today.
So what went on here is we're in a bean field and they gonna put houses here. And so they wanted them off. They want them off the 15th of August. I planted a 2.9 here, which we usually plant a 4.6 to a 5.2, you know, so we planted a 2.9 here. So we're gonna see. I don't know if I can get them off then or not. I sure hope I can. I hope I don't come in here and get them from me. But
man, they're moving along pretty good.
We planted this bean.
There's a 4-beaner.
Yeah.
First one right there. Yeah, they look good.
So
you never know, you may start planting some 2.9s.
I done tried that.
Everybody messed up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I done tried that. Actually, the first bean I ever made 100 with was a 3.9.
No kidding. Yeah.
Yep. Planted it, and you know, when you figure out the dates, you know, and I'm definitely not a pod father, and I'm definitely not the bean king like Matt Miles, you know. Temple Roads, you know, I'm no Temple Roads. But because I ain't got a headset.
Right.
That's why I'm not a Temple Roads, I ain't got a headset.
There you go.
You know.
Like I said, you're loading up good. I mean,
maybe they'll make 60. The population out here is 115. We dropped 115, we wanted a solid 100.
is that pretty well what
When
you're
we
doing,
start-
or you start backing up?
When we start, and then by the time we get double crops, we're dropping 160.
Yeah.
You know, is what we're dropping on 15 inches.
Which is still 10 years ago, what were you, I mean, not that long ago,
200.
5 years ago, what were you dropping?
Yeah. Yeah, we've always been pretty much on the lower side, but it's a lot of guys that'll still be 180, 190,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But even, like I said, in the double crops, and we'll come on, you know, like last year, I think over a whole double crops, we averaged in the low 50s, had a good year, and which is good for us, you know. You take it all the way through, but.
I was about to say, coming off of what was wheat, you know, probably mid to upper 80s farm average stuff, so
Yep.
a lot of 90 bushel wheat. I know we did a couple wheat plots.
And it was there.
Yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, that's one thing us Southerners, we get the double crop. I know we go to the north a lot. It's like, you do what?
Yeah.
So you get to harvest wheat and plant beans, and
3 crops in 2 years.
that is pretty special though.
It's special, all right. It's
Yeah.
special in more ways than one.
Exactly, a lot of moving
I
parts.
mean, you're like spraying all the time.
Yeah.
Like we put 600 hours a year on one sprayer, 300 to 400 on the other sprayer. I mean, it's just a lot of spraying going on.
Yep.
Look like I need to spray these ends.
There's gonna be a house here in a few weeks. Oh.
Yeah, hey, you watch, you know, I'm gonna let them cuckabirds go, somebody else can fool with them, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably have it 20 more years, you know,
Right.
like, God, I wish I wouldn't let that one go.
On to the next one.
On to the next. This is about the second to third day of corn that we planted. So it was almost through a lot of that heat.
Right.
But now right here on this edge is got a lot of compaction here.
Yeah. Coming in
But,
and out of the field.
But it definitely took a toll on what we got. We'll look at some of it. We've looked at some decent corn. That's decent corn.
Yeah,
you know,
I'd say. Say decent.
Decent corn. We'll look at some of this corn. This is dry land, like not so decent corn.
Back to reality
Back
of
to reality.
2022.
Lord have mercy, this is probably gonna be bad. This is where we done the biohealth, you know, we went in there, what's the ounce rate on it?
Quart to the acre.
We went in there on a quart, and Mark told me, you know, that the quart was gonna be good for about 3 years, and yeah, we can still see it. And I'm messing with
There's the
y'all.
line.
There it is right there.
Yeah, a little different story on the dry land acres
Yep.
here.
Well, you know, we think we know what the bottom line is, but until that machine hits, until it's over, we don't know when it's over. Like,
Right.
when is this really over?
Sure.
You know, so I mean, I'm talking about the heat and the dryness. You know, obviously had a good rain. This corn here, it's, you know, it's pretty much done.
Right.
You know, that rain
It's
done it.
filling now. Yep.
Yeah. You know, that's why we spread our planting window out so. But I was hoping with this first wave that we come in here, you know, at 130 to 140 bushel.
Yep.
And
I think so. I mean, from what we're seeing, I think that
yeah.
matches.
So
up.
we'll look at some of these. I mean, these is, you know, but we'll just show you a little bit about what did happen when we went. And so this ear, you know, is not bad. You know, yeah, it's a weaker ear. But let's just, you know, you ride down the road and you think, well, that ain't so bad. Well, this is what happens when it gets hot for 3 weeks in a row and you just can't do anything about it. And we don't know about heat until you know about heat.
Sure. I mean,
There you go. So,
here's the same. I mean, you can look. That's
we had a nice
not
ear.
counted, but that's 18 rounds.
Yeah.
All day long,
And we just couldn't, you can't do
and
nothing.
had the potential there, and then the heat kicks in, and unfortunately, that's what you get.
That's what we get. This is real life. This is, you know, what happens in the South when it gets hot. You know, we done what we were supposed to do. We got Mark to come down from Concept Agritech.
We like to talk with the growers and get some of that history. That's what gave farmers returns.
We got some of Concept Sweet success. Get that soil biology ramped up.
We're getting a little bit of everything.
So this is the program we'll be running. That's all that's in there.
Farmers deserve a nitrogen that works as hard as they do, one that stays with the crop until the job is done. It's time to turn to a better nitrogen with Pivot Bio.
Oh no, I lost him here. You gotta be kidding me. I just had it. I kept slapping my ass to make sure I had it. Oh man. Let this car pass. Oh well, that's a goner. You start shucking yours. We only got 2 of the seed treatments because it fell out of my back pocket. So what we have here is 3 different trials. So this is just 0953 planted, nothing else. Just grower standard practice. No goodies, everything was turned off. This right here, right beside it, is the Pivot Bio seed treatment. So once again, in furrow off, just seed treatment. So same as this, actually in the same planter, the right side of the box had the 0953 treated with the Pivot Bio seed treatment. This is 0953 that was not treated with it. Then here we have the full-fledged program. So this is once again 0953. We have no seed treatment on it, but we have the Proven 40 in furrow along with my full in furrow mix. So when we go through the results here, our check came in at 234. Pivot Bio with the seed treatment came in at 265. Then the Pivot Bio Proven 40 in furrow came in at 285. So you can see between this and that check, there's a 50 bushel difference. So when people ask, does all this foo-foo stuff in furrow, does it work? Does actually feeding the plant work? Well, you tell me. That's between the difference between these two. I'm just using $6 corn.
Oh, wow.
You tell me if that pays. This is why to me, it's so important. I've lost so many corn crops late to windstorms or different things. I mean, yeah, this is just 3 random spots. Now we get out there and we have the computer systems and the technology to be able to break these plots down and find out exactly what populations have worked best, what soil types that work best. We're going to strip all this data down and figure out what really worked and where it didn't. This is a blind pool. We're in an 86-acre field, and we just blind pooled in 3 different spots. You know, am I saying that this is going to carry a 50 bushel average over the untreated all the way across the field? Probably not. But where we're at today, but when we walked the fields and looked at them, that's where you get to see, is the product actually working? Does it look healthy? Does it look good? Does it look the part? Like right now we're kind of in the smell test. You know, smell it before you eat it. We're getting ready to eat it. Right now we're see if it passes the smell test. And so far it is. So, I mean, that's why it's so important to get out here and look, because, you know, Mother Nature could wipe this all out and be for naught. There's so many times too, I can't tell you. Farmers only want to look at the collar blocks on their yield map. And they don't realize there's a 20 to 40 bushel break between the collars. Come on, guys. I mean, if there's a product out there that can do that, I mean, there's your silver bullet. It's bad timing, bad placement, bad recommendations. That's what will make or break a product. It's knowing how to use it, when to use it, and at what rates. And that goes for chemicals, seed, anything. You know, we can overpopulate corn, make a real good hybrid, and go out there and do something stupid with it and make it look really, really bad. So that's where that becomes so important. But yeah, I mean, you're going to be on this for 3 years, and then we're going to figure out whether you're staying here or if we're going on a different direction. But I just want to stress to farmers that, you know, you have to be diligent and, you know, and analyze the data that we're given. We're living in probably the biggest technology era and the technology growth that any company or any profession has ever seen is in farming right now. So we have that ability, and we need to use that to our advantage. Take the time. You know, we try to calibrate once a day. If we're going from 118-day hybrid to 109, that's probably a 9% moisture swing. We're recalibrating. Is it a pain? Yes. But we're harvesting not only, you know, yellow gold for cash, you know, to make money. This is also setting the stage for next year. As soon as we're in that combine, that is setting up our crop for 2023. Decisions that we're reading off that monitor is going to make the decisions that we're going to make for the following year. We have bad data coming in, we're going to make bad decisions coming out.
So right now we just loaded up Pivot Bio.
The Proven 40 product, which is very cool.
We're out looking at one of our Pivot Bio plots. I like the looks of it.
It's not leaching away in the groundwater. It's not running off when we get a hard, heavy rain.
Not bad, huh? Not bad. The Proven 40 is doing its job.
It's that missing link that keeps my plant where it needs to be.
Pivot Bio passed the test. I
So
feel
far,
like.
the Pivot Bio is checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big kernel, and it's
That's 18 around, you know. You know, but
got a good start.
yeah, so this right here would have been, let's see, there's a good, that's 30 long right
You
there.
had probably 10 that aborted.
Yeah,
You know,
so we had a
another
good,
5
you
that
had
didn't
one
fill.
here that was 18 by 40.
Yep.
You know, I mean, we've done our part, but,
Yep.
you know, it is what it is.
Unfortunately, there's no
Can't do anything about it.
magic dust you can put on this stuff to mimic what Mother Nature's doing with a good rain. So.
Just a cooling down effect that happens when that rain comes in, you know, even with all the irrigation and everything else, you know, and the irrigated corn down there look good, but we can still, you know, there's not.
Well, it is. It's all about stress mitigation.
It's 100% stress. I mean, the things we're testing now on our farms is definitely stress mitigation. Sure. I mean, and it's, you know, we've always had, you know, we've talked again, calcium, potash, you know, boron, all those things are in, you know, it all works together for that. But,
you know, plants have, you know, what you would call a stress memory, right? Mm-hmm. So next time they get to that stress period, whether it's too much rain, too little rain, you know, heat,
it's the same results.
Cool, whatever it is, that plant starts to shut off. So, you know, what we're doing with Stress Tech specifically is trying to push that plant further into that stress event to where
it
don't, you know, maybe we can catch a rain, maybe we can cool off, you know, maybe we can get lucky, but
I mean, at this point in the game, we're trying to buy days.
Sure.
You know,
days would have mattered in this crop.
Yeah, and sure. I mean, we had a, you know, we still had a good plant, and I mean, it's still, I mean, but for what it went through, hey, the thing looks good.
Right.
You know, and this one rain or this weather event, if we would have had one cooling week, one big rain in this, been all the difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the difference in the world. So we're gonna ease on down through the field. Someone else waters this part of this field for me, like, I don't know, 10 or 12 acres. And so when it started getting dry, they turned water on with his tip. So let's go down through the field here and let's see with that 3 or 4 waterings what it looked like and what difference it would have made. Yeah, I believe this makes a difference. This is what a little watering will do. There you go. There you go. Now we know where we at, don't we?
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, same hybrid, just got water.
No brainer.
So you're saying that water pays?
Every day. Well, you know, I don't know.
I don't know. Say,
someday let's correct that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's solid corn right there.
Some of that.
Talking about other nutrients, but calcium, boron, potassium, I feel like it's a broken record, but you start talking about why we're putting those cowboy applications, why we're putting, you know, foliar K, potassium acetate.
This is why.
That's why you're packing those starches and filling grain to the best of your ability. I mean, that's a lot of people, we get it a lot, you know. I have good K levels, I've got good calcium levels, but you know, what we don't understand is how these plants are pretty much drinking through a straw once we get to this point in time. I mean,
well, I mean, look at all the tips.
Right.
You know, here we didn't have, back there we had what, half of it in tip back?
Sure.
Now we run all the way out the end of it, you know.
Yep.
So this is production corn.
Keeps you in the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I can probably beat Temple because he's not in. Yeah. And I ain't sure I can do that. That's a nice ass here right there. Look at that. He would pull that and lay it on the cooler and talk about it.
Farmers deserve a nitrogen that works as hard as they do, one that stays with the crop until the job is done. It's time to turn to a better nitrogen with Pivot Bio.